friend that I went through basic training with was always boasting how in love he was with his girlfriend, who eventually became his fiancée. He told us all about their wedding plans and invited us all to the event. After basic life was battalion life with our respective regiments. During this time, his fiancée, who had travelled to South Africa to study, had found a new man there and finished the relationship with my friend by text message, of all things. After being together for 8 years, needless to say, he took it badly. Another friend who had been with us through basic found him hanging from the ceiling in the platoon lounge utility room. Tried to save him, but he'd been hanging there too long and was pronounced dead at the scene by the regiment MO. Went to his funeral, met and tried to console his devastated family. And whilst his dad burnt the flowers his cheating fiancée had had the cheek to send to the funeral after all the heartache she had caused him and his family. Bit of background to this: Walcott is a training area specifically set aside by the UK MOD Defence Training Estate, specifically used by the British Army for training. At Walcott we use live grenades and live rounds to simulate what it's like in a real life battle situation. When I went there with my platoon, the Queen's Division, a platoon from the King's Division and a third from the Royal Regiment of Scotland, all doing various shooting ranges and situations like FIBUA, fighting in built-up areas. On one of the ranges that required the use of grenades, the Scots had gone on before, so we watched. One of the lads in that platoon had pretty bad drills. He dropped the grenade, luckily before he pulled the pin, and stood stock still, instead of ducking behind cover after he'd thrown it at the target. One of the corporals from his platoon jumped up and threw him behind cover, but couldn't get back behind cover quickly enough. He took the grenade blast in the back. His back, the back of his neck and the legs were shredded by grenade shrapnel. Myself and my platoon ran forward with our field dressings out and ready, luckily managing to stop the worst of the bleeding from the multiple wounds he had sustained, keeping him in a stable condition before he could be evac, airlifted to a local hospital, saving the man's life. The soldier was instantly disarmed by a platoon sergeant, dragged off the training ground by the Royal Military Police, the RMPs. We heard later that he'd been sentenced to 5 years in Colchester Army Prison for reckless endangerment. A fitting end, I think. Well, it all started after a tour in Iraq. Mugridge was in a Snatch Land Rover. And for those of you who don't know, Snatch Land Rover is a protected patrol vehicle intended for general patrol in low threat areas, provides some degree to small arms protection and also a limited level of protection from IEDs and off-route mines. Not always the case. In this case, the Land Rover that he was in got hit by an RPG, blew the Land Rover up and left Mugridge with shrapnel scarring all up one side. After a sizable stint in rehab and physio, he was placed back with his battalion, the 2nd Battalion Royal Anglian Regiment, known as the Poachers, my old regiment. Soon after that they were deployed to Germany on a training exercise to prepare to go back to the Middle East. After doing the manoeuvres, the officers loaded the lads up on half a dozen APCs, armoured personnel carriers, so they had to get back to camp quicker. Unfortunately, the APC Mugridge was on was massively overloaded, with lads sitting on the roof. Due to the weight, it fell behind the convoy. The officer in charge ordered the driver, who said it was a bad idea, to speed up and catch up. The driver did as ordered, but took a corner too quickly and rolled the APC. Mugridge and about 2 to 3 others were killed instantly as they were on the roof, flattened by the rolling APC. That was a bad day.